defunding Minneapolis Police Department. What did I say? We don't want no more police. Is that clear?
I do not support full abolition.
Audio, video, check. Yeah. How's the video? We don't have video. The technical difficulties. Ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. But welcome to another episode of Phone Tag Live Tag at Morning Motivation. I got a nice little program I put together for you right now. This is called Fear of a Political Awakening. Phone Tag Live Tag It Morning Motivation. Racism 20 Global Revolution.
America went insane over the weekend. That's barely an overstatement. People in their 80s who have lived in the U.S. all their lives said they'd never seen anything like it. Ask an 80-year-old. This was without precedent in the modern era. A small group of highly aggressive, emotionally charged activists took over our culture. They forced the entire country to obey their will. It all happened so fast and with such ferocity that virtually no one resisted it. People seemed bewildered, even stunned by what was happening. Statements of fact and opinion that were entirely within the bounds of reasonable conversation just last Sunday, suddenly, a week later, were enough to get you fired from your job, and a number of people were fired. An awful lot happened this weekend. For the next hour, we want to assess the aftermath of it all, suggest what it may mean, and where this country is likely to go from here. But first, we want to give you a sense of what happened. We're going to begin tonight in Minneapolis. That's where the Black Lives Matter riots first began almost 2 weeks ago. As the violence there raged, some Democratic leaders in Minneapolis came to a conclusion that didn't, on the surface anyway, make intuitive sense. What their city really needs, they decided, is less law enforcement. In fact, no law enforcement. So they began to demand that Minneapolis, quote, defund the police. Now, the first thing you notice about this idea is how unpopular with the public it is. Almost nobody in the country supports it. But the activists, undeterred, kept pushing the idea, and within days, pressure mounted on the mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey, to get rid of his city's police department. This was a problem for Frey. Frey has greater political aspirations, and this was the last conversation he wanted to have. So Frey did his best to change the subject with a mix of manic enthusiasm and feigned empathy. Frey is well practiced in those areas. Here he is a couple of years ago with his preferred brand of community outreach. It didn't work, then or now. Activists wanted actual answers, so Mayor Frey tried step 2 in the process, groveling.
I've been coming to grips with my own brokenness in this situation, my own failures, my own shortcomings, and I know there needs to be deep-seated structural reform.
Again, good try, brokenness. It sounds like a sermon. Give a raise to the staffer who scripted that. But again, no dice. Black Lives Matter, to their credit, wanted a real answer to their question. It was then that Jacob Frey made a fatal mistake. He put himself in a position where he could be asked that question directly. Here's what happened next.
Yes or no, will you commit to defunding Minneapolis Police Department? What did I say? We don't want no more police. Is that clear?
I do not support full abolition.
All right. Hey, don't waste our time. Get the out of here. Go home, Jacob, go home. Go home, Jacob, go home.
What a remarkable piece of tape that is. Has a big city mayor in this country ever been more thoroughly humiliated? Get the F out of here, she screams. Go! Well, the correct answer to that, needless to say, is up yours, lady. I'm not going anywhere. I run this city. Do you doubt that the entire crowd would have cheered Jacob Frey if he'd said that? People always admire resolve, even when they disagree with the point of view. But that's not what Jacob Frey did. Frey slunk away like a child caught doing something filthy. The most telling moment, though, came just before that, when the woman in sunglasses threatened to defeat the mayor in the next election. What does that tell you? It tells you that Black Lives Matter is, in fact, a political party, maybe the strongest political party in the United States as of tonight. Its members believe they can reshape this country, and so far, they're proving to be right. You can always tell which political movements are ascendant, which are headed up, by how straightforward their members and sympathizers are about what they believe. Strong people say what they think out loud. They have no reason not to. They're not embarrassed of their beliefs. They think they're winning. With that in mind, watch this clip from CNN this morning. This is the president of the Minneapolis City Council, Lisa Bender. Bender explains that the desire for safety, desire not to, for example, have your home invaded by violent criminals, is in fact a sign of racism.
Do you understand that the word dismantle or police free also makes some people nervous? For instance, what if in the middle of the night, my home is broken into? Who do I call?
Yes, I mean, I hear that loud and clear from a lot of my neighbors. And I know, and myself too, and I know that that comes from a place of privilege, because for those of us for whom the system is working, I think we need to step back and imagine what it would feel like to already live in that reality, where calling the police may mean more harm is done.
Yeah. So I hope everyone is having a good day this Tuesday, June 8th. Had a good breakfast. I made me some rotisserie chicken noodle soup. Had me a little walk this morning, get you some fresh air and some exercise and all of that. Now let's get to business. They fear the political awakening that has happened, that has taken place already, because that's where all the cards are. That's where all the power is. We don't need to be asking you anything. That's what the people are saying. That's what these young people are saying. Why are we asking you anything? Why don't we just take over and fix it so that it works for us? Instead of acting the mayor, become the mayor. That's why I'm running for mayor of New York City in 2021. Aaron Benjamin Miles. I would be on that ballot. I need them 7,500 signatures from y'all, though. But we'll get back to that. I ain't even focusing on my Rise of the Good People campaign right now. I'm just talking about how they fear the political awakening. That's where the cards are. Every time we try to negotiate with these racist, white people, and I'm making it clear, racist, because we got our good white brothers and sisters. We got our white brothers and sisters out here holding it down for us. So we know what it is. I'm glad y'all stood up finally. We could distinguish you from them. We couldn't make the distinction before because y'all wasn't never saying nothing. So now the distinction is made and the target have been more clearly identified. It's no more hunting season on us, baby. We will never be hunted again. Period. Now those tables are turning. Okay, so since we can never agree when we try to negotiate with these racist white devils, like my man Malcolm used to call them, every time you don't come to an agreement with them and they're on the wrong side, it doesn't matter. As long as they control them guns. They're going to point them guns in your face. But that's political, because it's not their guns. I mean, they got these militia ones out here, but they not really no threat. We could deal with them. Not ready for that yet. I'm going to take a couple more minutes on this. So it's the police. It's the National Guard. It's the Army. These racist white devils don't really control that. That's state control. That's controlled by the corporation we call the United States of America. And whoever's appointed in certain positions and seats, they determine how those resources are used. The right person gets in position, they can tell all of those guns to stand down. Then we get back to negotiations, because a coward without his gun, he's more than willing to sit down and talk, negotiate, because he knows at that point he has no leverage. Fear of the political awakening. We coming. That stampede is coming. Now I'm with that.